Welcome back to the Hair Curler Chronicles. Tim and Nancy Danter coming to you from the kitchen in Kitchener-Waterloo. And we've got our great friend Tim Perry back again with us today. Hi, Tim.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm still kicking.
That's good. Got your skiing all finished for the year, or do you think you got another couple of days of skiing?
I think I got a couple more days.
Really?
Yeah, I've got the FOMO on the snowboarding too. So
nice. And spring skiing's one of the best type of skiing because you can just have light jacket on, and the snow is usually pretty quick, I think. And
no, it's not. It's total.
It's slow. That's right. It's slow because it's warm.
Yeah, I like the terrain parks. I like jumps so I don't really need the slopes.
That's right. Do you do snowboarding or skiing?
Snowboarding, yeah.
Oh, of course you do, because you also like parachuting. I remember that.
I've gotten out of skydiving now in my older age, but yeah, surfing, anything on a board, skimboarding, jumping off bridges. I'm still into that.
Oh Jesus! Don't kill yourself.
We use my next picture for your next thing. We'll just have me jumping off a 50-foot bridge like I did last summer.
That'd be good. I like that.
Cashing out. Woo!
Cashing out. There you go.
I live my life exactly the way I play. I play crypto the same way, right?
Almost taking its toll. Come on.
Yeah.
Today, Tim and I were thinking we would talk to you about the world of NFTs, non-fungible tokens, the mysterious world of NFTs, the oh my goodness,
the evolution, the evolving, the
confusing,
countdown. Yeah,
even I'm confused.
But things are, but in the infancy, which is what NFTs are in right now, things are confusing. You get mixed signals, you get mixed information. A lot of it can be misinterpreted. So it's
and that's the FOMO, right? Right. And I was explaining to Nancy the other day about it's crypto. I think life is, but crypto is very high school, right? You're getting a lot of gossip, and it sounds amazing, and you buy into it, but that's where you gotta slow down, especially when the FOMO train's going that fast. And okay, this person just said this, I'm going to go make sure that that's true myself. Crypto is very high school, right? You're getting a lot of gossip, and it sounds amazing, and you buy into it, but that's where you got to slow down, especially when the FOMO train's going that fast. And okay, this person just said this, I'm going to go make sure that that's true myself. It only takes 2 minutes to actually Google it.
Yeah. I was watching this morning on Stansberry Research or Stansberry Investing. Daniela Cambone interviewed this gal named PIPPA, Dr. PIPPA, who used to be an advisor to George W. Bush. And they were talking about NFTs, and she was trying to get Pippa's take on it. And she gave the best explanation I think I've had for it. And it's basically, she said, okay, here's your NFT, and you've got digital art, you've got music, and you've got, oh goodness, what was the other thing? She said that the most interesting part in this is it's honoring honoring the originator's ability. It's honoring the originator by always making sure that if it changes hands, the originator gets a portion, 10% of that original art
every time it resells.
And I think that's amazing because you think about people who put their blood, sweat, and tears into things like writing a song, or and you think about, let's just take Bare Naked Ladies, because they're a Canadian band and they're very popular. And now we listen to them through Spotify. And how much are they really making on that? How much do they make when it changes from person to person? Like in the old days, we used to have to buy records, and you couldn't easily transfer the records around. You could sell this record secondhand, but most people didn't have an ability back then to do it other than you'd go to the record store and you'd buy the record. So the artist would get the revenue from that.
And don't forget, I've got buddies in the music industry that have done very successful, traveled around the world type stuff. And I can honestly tell you that they get more from doing the tours. That's why that's why these musicians do the tours, because that's where they can make more money, because the labels take so much from them for their own content.
Yeah.
So yeah, extremely bullish thing I am for NFTs is music and the artists behind it. Definitely for artists, but I just want to, one of my biggest cons with NFTs is you also have people just like you and I could just grab some random art piece we see online, NFT it, and claim to be the original creator. Sorry. So obviously, if it's not on the internet yet and you create it, it's a lot easier to be like, yes, I'm the original content creator. But just the other day, there was Will Smith's son, Jaden, I guess. Someone was sending out his art and claiming that he was the original content, but it wasn't. So this is where I've always had, like I have a real love-hate affair right now with NFTs because, as you've noticed, I turned down Bitcoin for years, right? And then I finally opened my mind up. So now I've learned even when I first NFTs, I was like, oh, digital art, what's the point? But then I said, you know what? Like, don't be how you were before. Open your mind up. So I was always open to it. I was actually in NFTs in the early fall last year. That's actually where I lost most of my money, to be honest. And that's why it kind of scolded me a bit. But I was too early, right? I have a Twitter account, and I had wrote that NFTs will be the gateway to the mainstream adoption of crypto. So I knew where it was going, but I figured that the mainstream NFT that will bring most of the people will be copywriting, patents, stuff like this that are like real world usage stuff. But right now it seems to be the collectibles and the art, and all the power to it. I'm not hating on that. I just think that there is a very fine line about the NFT coins that are focusing on digital collectibles and arts that will go up, and most will get burned out because they're not focusing on, licensing and stuff like this that shows originality.
That was the other piece that I remember what PIPPA said was collectibles. So let's even talk about that for a second, because when we grew up, everybody would stand in line when they saw a celebrity to get an autograph, right? Well, what do you do with that stuff? What do you do with that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Tim's a bit of a celebrity. Will you
There's
sign?
no lineup for me.
Well, okay. So if Tim, say I had Tim's signature, which I do, I could probably forge Tim's signature now. but what would you do with that? What did we all do with that? I had a friend in high school that he would write letters to celebrities and get them to sign things.
Sneaky.
And then he would get it. And then he was selling it to other people who were collecting these things.
Something I would have done.
Right. Which is crazy. So I'm thinking in my mind, if I'm fast forwarding to digitizing these things, is if you got a really cool something from a celebrity, you could kind of NFT that. And then if you wanted to sell it, every time you sold it, you would get 10%. Every time it would change hands, you would get 10%.
It's like a royalty.
Yep.
It's a built-in guaranteed. It sounds like through the NFTs that the positive for artists, we'll call them artists, whether they're brush in hand or microphone in hand or whatever, that it is giving them every time their product changes hands, they're making 10%, which is reasonable because of what and the way they were treated in the past. And
absolutely. And you can adjust that royalty. I mean, that's not, the technology can change it to however you'll be able to set your own fees and do all that stuff and make your own contracts with people on how you're going to do it. But you can do that with Ravencoin, with securitizing. Because I always use like the Mona Lisa, right? Say if you wanted to lend that to another museum or something, you could securitize it. And then you could share in the profits of the other museum getting the fees, because obviously everyone's got to go to, where is it, the Louvre? I don't even know, but you've got to go somewhere in Europe to see the Mona Lisa. Well, not everyone gets out there. So you could actually make a lot more money on these old pieces by securitizing it, or, turn it into NFT too, but securitize the token, send it off to other museums, because if you send it to another museum, then they're going to reap all the benefits. But now you're like, wait, I can also still send that out there, get benefits, all this, it'll come back to me eventually, and I'll have made 10 times more if I just sat in the Louvre or wherever it is.
Well, what the NFT does is it cuts out the middleman and it makes it instantaneous for a transaction.
Right. And that's the thing, like, I've always heard a great analogy for NFTs, which is, if you own a Bitcoin and I own a Bitcoin, it's the same thing. We exchange it, it's the same thing. But with an NFT, they're not the same, right? So if I was to switch with you, you have something different now, and so do I.
Yeah.
So yeah, every like, like proof of stake, proof of work. They always like to say NFT is at the simplest form. It's a proof of authenticity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just providing the genuinity that it is the original article.
Yeah. I like it. I think it's the way of the future. And I think this won't be the last conversation the three of us have about NFTs, because it is still confusing, but I'm committed to learning about it. There you go. And that's the difference between us and most other people, is we're committed to learning about it.
Yeah. You have to humble yourself. Like I said, I got in it at the start. It burned me so bad, and I lost a lot of money getting in too early. And I was too early with security tokens. And maybe and I've learned from that. But so when this craze in the last couple of months, I really was shunning it. And then, you guys brought me light to one, and then other like normie friends were only bringing me NFTs. So I said, well, there's something here, because all these normies are being attracted to it like I thought they would. So open your mind back up, pick yourself off from the bruising you got in the fall. Mm-hmm. And now I'm excited all over again. So yeah, an open mind is so key.
Well, let's talk about the one that we did refer you to, because the interesting thing for us on that is I could actually see a real world application. And to your point, I think for Tim and I, if I can't see how this would be used in the real world, then it makes no sense to me to invest in it. And that's going to be our strategy. He and I it has to make sense to us. And if it doesn't, then what's the point? So the one that we referred to you is called, the coin itself is OMI, and you can only get it currently off of the BitMax exchange. And we'll put a link down below for that. But it honestly, what I liked about it was the fact that it's going to be an exchange for people to buy and sell NFTs on. And they're going to have a gallery because this was the other thing. What do you do with digital art? Where do you display that? Okay, I have a digital pen.
Yep.
It's like that signature we were talking about earlier. Okay, you got a signature from a celebrity. It goes in a drawer someplace, collects dust. This way you can display as the owner of whatever that digital art is. And so I liked that. And then the third thing that I thought was cool was all the partnerships that they have already established. And my friend who passed this to me, he's a big football guy, big NFL guy. And he's like, if the NFL is going to partner, and you think about all these football guys that maybe there's a famous football guy, Tom Brady was on a boat after the Super Bowl. See, I do know some things, and they took some pictures of him. And if he wanted to make that into an NFT, now he can, and he can make that do whatever he wants it to do. But I think that my understanding is that this is the platform where the NFL is going to play.
It is a license deal with the NFL Players Association.
Okay.
So you're not going to see logos yet. You're not going to see stuff like that. And the players still have to go through the NFL before they think about NFTing. Still big, still good, because it's just in a random coin that's no one heard of. But people don't understand when they're just saying NFL, there's still some backdoor stuff that that you got to understand. But who's to say that it does not open the gates, right? Because who are they going to continue doing the deals with? But remember that these also, they're not single deals. So I'll just rhyme off. Obviously, I did a really hardcore blitz on OMI. So OMI is it's a lot of people are getting confused when I've been telling other people. There's an app right now that you can download on your Android or your iPhone called VEVE, VEVE. That is the app that the OMI currency will work in with. Okay, because people keep thinking VEVE and OMI are different. They're not. VEVE is the name of the app that you will buy the collectibles on, and you will use the OMI to buy and do all these things. VEVE right now is the third trending, at least on my Android, the third trending for entertainment underneath Disney and Twitch. That to me says, okay, that's something that was one of the first things when Nancy first told me. When I saw that, that's when I felt the FOMO in me go, okay, whoa. Then you look at all the licensed deals that they have, and there's a reason why they've got these licensed deals so fast. David Yu, who's like CEO, I don't know, they always have different terms in crypto, but he worked underneath Gamers Are Us, and they worked with a guy who is now working for Ecomi called, I think it's David Kahn, and he was able to bring huge licensed brands overseas, Pokemon, Capcom, all these, and you're starting to see them all start going on OMI. There's a heavy rumor, and this is why, and I'm buying a lot. Like, I'm obviously buying because there is some good, and I'll get into the tokenomics in a sec. There is some really good brands already that will bring value to it and still appreciate the value. But I'm in it on a speculative bet that if they get Pokemon as a license, and this is total high school gossip right now, but you notice that David Kahn was one of the guys who brought Pokemon to the Western world with licensing, and he's now working for Ecomi. So I'm doing an educated, speculative bet that if Pokemon goes, if you do your homework on Pokemon right now, the cards alone are going for $2 million, stuff like this. If they bring those into Ecomi, sky's the limit, right? If they incorporate the game into it, which I don't know, that's just what I would do if I was smart, and actually have the Pokemon game where you fight each other in with it, with that. Oh my God, like my brain just, I can't sleep at night because of stuff like that. But the tokenomics. So when Nancy first told me about OMI, I literally did a quick, it took me 2 seconds. I looked at the circulation, and I saw 750 billion coins. And I said, Nancy, get the heck out of here. And then all of a sudden, obviously, as I do, I quickly scanned, and the tokenomics works. Technically, CoinGecko was wrong on that. It was like 400 billion. Didn't make me feel much better. But then they have an extremely deflationary mechanism in which that as this, gets more popular, every NFT that is bought burns OMI out of circulation forever. In fact, just in the past month, I don't know whether it was because of a miscalculation, don't, quote me on this, or because of just the buys and all this, but 1 billion has already been burned out of, 100 billion was burned out of circulation. So that was like, okay, well, if the NFT boom keeps going and the burning, then obviously that'll bring the circulation down, which will keep making the price go up because of scarcity. And then I started seeing the recipe for FOMO.
Yeah. So when my friend Mark first sent the tip to me, it was at 0.003 cents to get in on that token. Yep. And now we bought last night because we're a little slow on the uptick. Yep. And because Mark messaged me last night going, aren't you glad you got in when you got in? He goes, it's doubled. And I'm like, I came across from work, and I said to Tim, hey, how much money did we make on that token? He goes, we haven't bought it yet. And I'm like,
I didn't get dinner until I bought it.
I said, that's it. I'm making dinner. You need to buy that coin right now. But what do you think with your guesstimation on how this world works? So what was it? Was it a 1 cent today when you bought it, or yesterday?
Yeah, just dipped below 1 cent too. So, and it hit 1.3 cents the other day.
Okay. So say it's at 1 cent to buy that right now. What do you think? Like, and I'm not asking you for a set in stone prediction, but you've done this longer than us. Like, I don't even know what we could expect from this.
And this is the thing, even me as a seasoned, crypto person to most people, with NFTs right now, they are defying the laws of gravity. So just to put in perspective, if you were in OMI approximately a year ago with $1,000, you'd be worth $500,000 right now. So, and normally, like I just told you in the last episode, I don't normally jump in coins that are already up stupid amounts of money. But, the other day when Nancy sent me, it was at 0.007 cents, and between that and 7.8. From a chart I looked at it, I was just going to play it as a chart play at first. So I threw a few $100s. And then I started obviously seeing the scope of it and the licensing and stuff like this. But one thing I take in a factor is this. So Uniswap listing is on March 24th. Uniswap obviously is that decentralized. More people like it. there are people out there that you also have to get into this, the market psychology. Okay. So this is where I went on market. I'm just trying to share how I thought market psychology. So a lot of people right now do not, there's what's called maximalists. You have Bitcoin maximalists who won't touch any other coin and they just shun them, you know, without an open mind. And you have maximalists in just one coin. You know, some people would joke that I'm a union maximalist or something like this. One thing I had to really say, okay, there's something here that I'm still like having to absorb. It's on 2 exchanges right now. One, which I don't recommend because the volume of the OMI buys are crashing the site so often, which is Bit4X, but it's a reasonably reputable. And then you have BitMax. These are 2 relatively obscure exchanges, but trusted. I've been on BitMax for years now, 2 years now, and I like it. But it did 100 million in volume the other day. A relatively obscure NFT coin is causing exchanges to crash due to volume influxes. And I'm going, there is a hype momentum that I haven't seen in a long time on this coin. And we'll get into the other couple coins that are very similar. And you're starting to see the FOMO build on those ones too, because I think what's the key is, are NFTs big right now? Yes, but I think soon the big key is NFTs with licensed deals. That is like the hot take. That's where, like, because we talk about real world stuff, right? Anyone can make an NFT now. And you can throw it on OpenSea, Rarible, and say that it's an NFT and it's not. Well, now you're working with DC Comics or whatever this with Batman. You know that is coming, accepted by DC, made by this artist, That's collectible. That's where I see collectibles, right? Not just some random, you and I made some piece and we don't even know for sure. Did we NFT that? Are we the original content creators? All this stuff. So just alone, volume hype on 2 obscure exchanges is something that really has me going, holy smokes.
People are looking at this and they go, well, it was 0.003 cents. And now it's about 1 cent. Have we missed the boat? Because this is the question we get all the time. We've missed the boat. It's doubled and we've missed the boat.
Go to way more than 2 cents because just the other day, it breaks a sell wall and goes for another 50% run. The other coin that we're going to talk about soon, it all of a sudden comes out with news that it partnered with Tony Hawk for authentic Tony Hawk stuff. Goes up 50%. That's just and Tony Hawk's legit, but it's just like, that's one person. What happens when these coins start knocking down? If OMI knocks down Pokemon, I don't even want to give you a price point. And, caveat emptor, Tim Perry's always a positive, optimistic guy. Always, glass half full. So I am always full of FOMO. And I see so much infinite value in these, but obviously because I know I'm talking to you guys and a very rookie kind of audience sometimes, I at least say 10 to 20 cents would be a safe bet.
Okay. So it's not too late. This is the piece that we keep getting. It's even the conversation we get with when we talk to people about Bitcoin. Oh, it's too late. It's at 60,000 US. No, eventually in 10 years, they're predicting it's going to be worth $1 million. We're still early at this.
My advice is don't worry so much because obviously, when I first looked at OMI, it's up 400 times its starting price. And normally that's where it's like, no. But then I had to evaluate the whole NFT realm right now. It's so hot. It's unbelievable. So I'm like, it doesn't matter what's happened before on those coins. I would still say in other sectors, don't jump into something that's a 10X because you don't know if it's a pump and dump. You don't know if it's just a play, right? Whereas this, NFTs are on fire. I'm seeing it in the news. I'm seeing $60 million NFTs, all this. So the whole bubble is. So my advice to anybody is don't worry so much about the coin you're in and where it's at. Worry more about the entire space. When you start seeing NFT hype die down, then just get out of, start scaling out of whatever NFT coin you're in. But
or do what Tim said in the very beginning. If you bought in at 3 cents and you bought X number and it's more than doubled, take your initial investment and let it ride.
Sorry, we should get into one episode where we just talk about strategies to just preserve your income. Yeah, people I'll give you some terminology, and I'm sure Tim's up on the terminology now, but basically what you do is you take profits, you take you take your initial out, and then you take profits. So you profit, and then you have what's called a moon bag. So you ride that to the moon kind of thing, right? And then if it goes, you've already made profits, you've already got your initial out, and the rest is all free money, and you're right, that's your moon bag.
Yeah, I love it.
We'll do another segment on that because I think that's important for people to understand.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because let's say hypothetically, people listening to us now to just understand, like, yes, I'm saying this could be crazy big FOMO, but this is what you do. Say it's at a penny right now. I don't know the exact price. Gets to 3 cents, initial, profit, ride the rest.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So what I'd like to do is, I think if we could end here, and what I want to do is do the next time we have you back, I want to talk about the other NFT, because I don't even know what it is. And I think our audience deserves a new pick. So, right. So thank you so much for your time today, Tim. Really, really appreciate this. My mind is blown, and I want you to go buy some more OMI.
Yeah, and my mind's starting to blow now too, so I'm loving this too.
Oh boy, everybody aboard the FOMO train.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. Oh, take a breath, cold shower, then look at the charts.
That's right.
Thanks,
care.
Sam.
Thank you.